Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to Whisper of Winter, Chapter 2, Requiem of the Chained King. I'm Corlo, I'm your Dungeon Master. Today is episode 19, and as such, begins with a recap of episode 18. Fucking stumbling through the intro, dude. So, in episode 18, the party descended down to the Nine Helms of Bator, Xelran's home plane. They met up with Karan, who is the boatman of the River Styx, and he took them down to the city of Dis, which is Xelran's hometown. The party then met Xelran's siblings, Elena and Hilera too, also known as Hela. Then they met up with Xelran's parents, Hilera, the Fire Queen, as well as her wife, Anya. When they did, they found that Hilera and Anya were talking to the three general knights, who basically were discussing strategy for the oncoming threats, the oncoming siege of Akira Ravenheart and his followers on the city of Dis, with a little bit of strategic advice from the party. Hilera sent 75% of the soldiers to the east, the other 25 down to the south. And then in the east, on the mountain, directly conjoined to the city, a black hole opened, and out of it, using it like a portal, Akira Ravenheart and his followers arrived on the second layer of hell, having climbed out of Tartaros. And he led a siege after trying and failing to peacefully resolve things with Xelran. He decided to relentlessly attack the city, and the forces responded as this big clash happened in what is called the Second Blood War, and is also going by another name called the Battle of Lost Souls. In this battle, the party duked it out with some demons that followed behind Akira, but eventually pushed through. Xelran convinced the Bone Devil to essentially pull out, and some the rest of the forces also to disperse from the city. And from there, they attacked Akira, who tried to summon his servant, Kyoka, not Genova, Kyoka. And the party still focused fired on Akira, and when he was defeated, Kyoka proclaimed him as a failed experiment, and completely vanished. The party won the Second Blood War. They won the Battle of Lost Souls and drove Akira Ravenheart back down to Tartaros. After this, a large-scale celebration was held in the main palace. Food and liquor and confetti, and trumpets being blown and flags being thrown up. Xelran traveled down to Tartaros to essentially damn the souls of the guards that stood in front of the gate of Tartaros, essentially damning them to watch over the gates for the rest of pretty much eternity, to make sure Akira would never leave. In addition, Xelran put a rune on the gates to further ensure Akira would never escape Tartaros again. And then after that, in the celebration back on the second circle of hell in the city of Dis, Lucas was partaking in the celebration as well and ordered a bunch of drinks on Xelran's tab. The bartender didn't really know what else to do, so he did charge Xelran, but life went on. And that was pretty much where we are now. So, at the current moment, you guys are on the second circle of hell. You guys are in Dis. You're in Xelran's home city. You see, the rivers of lava just like floating by, red skies, red fire, brimstone. But here in the castle, the celebration is like slowly coming to a close. Hilera and Anya are like talking to like a lot of the guests, and as they like begin to like leave, some of them like Hilera smiles too and is like, "Thank you for coming. Yeah, thanks for coming. Thanks for helping us out." And yeah, so then some of the forces, some of the knights kind of like stay here in the city, but the party ends, and yeah, it grows a little bit quiet here. Xelran, Adelaide, Alora is here as well. Um, you guys stand in the city as people begin to leave. It grows a little bit later in the night, and as it grows quiet here in Xelran's home city, what is the first thing you guys do when it quiets down?
Okay, so quickly, can I just I love how you would Xelran as Hello 2 as a sequel. Uh, Secondly, I don't know. I'm just messing. No, Xelran, he is going to... He's probably actually just gonna go over to the bartender and he's gonna try to get that stuff off the tab and clear it, and yeah, to walk over to the bartender.
Okay. You see he's like wiping, busting down the table, and he looks up at you and is like, Your Highness, hi, how can I help you?
uh, your name, yeah. So, about that tab, I don't think that very, I don't think very good to have such a long, especially I say of hell that should be cleared down.
Go ahead and roll a persuasion check at advantage.
Oh shit. No! Oh!
You see that he like slowly stops wiping the table down and is like, okay, well I guess in all fairness, you are kind of a war hero now, so...
Oh yeah, no, that I am not. No. Oh, I'm anything but, because if you would have saw, if my friends weren't around, the things I would have done to Akira would have been scarring. But I'll take it. I'll take the title. Sure. Yeah.
Okay.
War hero.
Sure. Okay, I will talk with the... Just kind of looks around. I will... He looks over to... You see, like, your mother is off in the distance. Hilara, and you see she, like, glares at the bartender, and he's like, okay, cool. It's all cleared. Don't have to worry about it anymore. Everything's fine.
Yeah.
Yep.
Just this time around. And if it happens again, which I hope it doesn't, you can then, I'll pay it. But also, if someone else asks to put something on my tab, deny them that luxury, no matter if they are in my party.
You see, he finishes cleaning the table and is like, okay, yes, sir, I will not charge anything to your tab from another person ever again. Please do not damn my soul to Tartarus.
Eh? Why would I do that?
Okay, enjoy your day, Your Highness, and just walks away.
Jeez. Fucking weirdo that one is. Oh, well, I guess my job is done here. Hey, Adelaide!
Yeah? You get this sorted out?
Yeah, was it you who put the thing on my tab?
I think you know who it was.
I actually don't.
Nobody told you?
No. I just came back, and he just was like, hey, you got money on your tab from one of your party members, and I was very distraught.
Oh, right. Well, it wasn't all him, but it was started by Lucas. It all sort of escalated after that.
You said it escalated? Well, I mean, I know how, but like, what did he do? Like,
Well, some people overheard that it was on your tab, and I think it got out of hand after that.
and you didn't stop them for me?
I mean,
I'm
I don't know, maybe you told Lucas it was fine beforehand. I didn't think it was my place.
You tell him to put a bunch of people's drinks on my tab. You're fired.
They all fought
He,
honorably.
wa- he
Fired?
walks away.
Okay, wait, let me catch up to him. Hold on, you can't fire me from the party.
Oh no, you're not fired from the party. You're fired from. Hey, would you like a job as as one of my city's servants? You'll get paid fairly.
No, thank you for the offer.
Well, if you would have taken it, you would have been fired anyways. He walks away again.
Hey, is there a running to catch up again? Is there any way we could sleep it somewhere? Do you know where we can sleep?
I mean, I'm flattered, but I sworn my allegiance to Sammy.
I don't know any inns in hell.
Oh, yeah. And then he one of the inns. Actually, wait, he's gonna turn around. He's gonna be like, wait. Why not just sleep in the castle? We have plenty of rooms.
That would work too.
Jeez. Actually, nah, never mind. Yeah, I think the innkeeper is closed anyways. So, let us go.
Hell yeah. You guys walk up. You see, Xelran's mother, Lara, walks up to you guys and is like, she says, well, I don't know what you guys are gonna do after this, but you do, if you know, Xelran, you're always, welcome to come back and spend however much time you want at home, but yeah, if you guys do want to crash in the castle, that's totally fine.
Thank you. I'm glad to know my home will always be here for me to sleep in.
She nods and takes you guys up to this to these rooms.
Oh, but
go ahead.
or he is up the entire party as he's like walking the castle.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, as you walk through the castle, yeah, Xelran, you've seen this place like thousands of times. Yeah, walk past the different like paintings and statues and different maids and butlers and different things. And you guys get up to the this long hallway, and yeah, Xelran, you see your old bedroom for the first time in a long time, and you see Hilaria kind of like nods to you guys. It's like she stretches and says, "Well, I think I gotta get some rest too. Hey, if you need anything, you know where to find me. You can also ask, one of the butlers or the servants."
Oh yeah, I'll mostly call on Sturgeon. He has a lot of my like interests like memorized, which is kind of cool. He's like my personal go-to.
Oh, great. Glad you're making friends with the, around the castle. But yeah.
I live here. Of course I'm gonna know.
Okay.
Are you okay, Mom? Are you okay?
I'm feeling very out of sorts. I just fought in a war, it's... Anywho. Gonna head to bed. And she hugs you and she walks off.
Oh, yep. Yeah. Sturgeon!
You see
He
one
calls
of
out the Sturgeon.
One of the butlers walks up to you and is like standing there at attention and is like, "Sir."
Hi. First off, long time no see. Secondly, while my guests, my party members are here, you are to also, cater to anything that they might need as well.
You see, he does like an army salute and says like, "Yes, sir."
Don't be so tight about it. Come on, loosen up.
Sir.
Loosen up. Like, you don't have to be so, like stiff. Come on. You're around family.
You see, he was standing with his legs and arms together, and then he slowly parts them from each other, and he's like,
Who told you can be? I'm just messing up.
like this, sir, like this.
Sure.
Okay. You see, looks to Adelaide and is like, "Ma'am, did you need anything this fine evening?"
No, thank you, though.
Goes back and just...
Or, I could use a room if you can lead me to one.
He stiffens up again and salutes and is like, "Yes, ma'am." Yeah, so he takes you to one of the guest rooms here. When you walk in, there's a window on the far end of the room. There's a bed, there's a desk, and there's a dresser. And yeah.
Adelaide will go ahead and head to bed, basically.
Sturgeon heads out. Xelran, I'm assuming you head to bed as well, unless there's anything else.
Yeah, no, he heads to bed. And Angel's gonna go put away this pizza in the trash. Well, not pizza, but...
So yeah, that night, the party falls asleep. Yeah, just after having fought this long battle, finally finding some respite, closing your eyes, you fall into this void of darkness that lulls you eventually to sleep. The gentle night air whisks you away into a state of slumber. And the following morning, you guys receive a long rest. I'll update people's character sheets. Here we go. Oh yeah. So yeah, the following morning, you guys wake up and you see butlers and maids and servants walking all around the castle. You just hear the faint, bit of hustle and bustle of working in a castle in the morning. Some of the servants go down to kind of the city square and get to, rebuilding some of the certain parts of the city that had been destroyed in the war. And yeah, some of the knights kind of round up as well. They kind of just stand at attention. You see one of the commanders is talking with them, has a clipboard in his hands and is directing certain knights to help out around the city as well. As you wake up the following morning, the day is yours.
Well, he's gonna take the day and he's gonna clench it in his palm. And, but no, he's gonna, well, he doesn't really have anything in mind to do. He's just gonna get up. Pretty much it.
Same here. Adelaide might wander around the castle a little bit and explore.
Okay. As you wander around the castle, you see the various statues and statuettes, and there's a lot of fountains here. Despite it being the Nine Hells is depicted as a place of fire, there's a lot of fountains here, and the floor is made out of marble, and the walls are made out of this bright brimstone. Xelran.
Me?
You see that as you get up in the morning, you see Elena comes up to you and is like, "Hey Zell, how you feeling?"
I'm doing alright. You? Getting up so early.
She looks at you and says, "You know, just figured I'd get an early start to my day. Hey, are you planning on, heading back to, Exandria and figuring that whole thing out?"
Well, depending on how my party members felt, yeah.
She nods and says, "Cool. So, I might, I'm not saying right now, but me and Hella might meet up with you at some point. Because, yeah, I mean, the whole thing that's happening on Exandria is, like, spreading to here, too, and, like, there's news every day that gets, so we might at some point want to come with. Are you taking your, all the knights here with you, too, or?"
Wait. You come along.
She says, "Well, only if that's okay. We don't want to, like, trouble you guys at all."
Oh, no, still trouble. It's just that I expected you guys to want to come along. Huh. Well, yeah. Yeah, definitely. Sure.
Okay.
And also, it'll be nice to also have a dynamic where my siblings annoy Lucas's siblings, so it's a win-win.
She nods and is like, "Okay, cool. I'll go tell Hella, because, but still some stuff in the city we're going to figure out, and then we're going to talk to Mom and see if she needs us for anything else."
Okay. I'm gonna go round up some soldiers because we need to prepare for when we actually do go up. We need an army. Which was the second plan. The second thing that we came here for. Well, the third thing, more like.
She nods and pats your shoulder, and you see she walks off.
He's gonna make a big stretch. Alright. And then he's gonna climb out of bed and put his gear on and head outside.
Alright. So you see some of the knights and some of the volunteer demons stick around in the city. You see one of your you see one of your commander knights, who is Commander Mariah, who she's like a tiefling as well, with deep kind of like tan skin and like brown hair tied in a ponytail, which sits kind of like awkwardly because of the horns. But you see she's got like a set of armor on, and you see she is kind of like directing some of the knights and volunteers to help out in rebuilding the city. And as you arrive, you see she turns to you and stands at attention as well. And it's like, "Your Highness, good morning, sir."
Okay. Oh, what? You guys have already started rebuilding?
You see she nods and says, "Yes, sir. At the request of your mother, we have gotten an early start."
Oh. And you said that they were like out of character. You said that they were like knights who's rebuilding.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. So he's gonna go. He's gonna say, well, if you guys are gonna rebuild, and why are you using the guard to do such things?"
You see she shrugs and says, was your mother's request. Not entirely sure as to why. I suppose she feels safer if we kill two birds with one stone and, you know, well, there are multiple parts of the city that were destroyed, so they'd also be patrolling the area and keeping the citizens safe, but who am I to question the Queen's orders?
While I do praise the fact that you followed her orders to the letter, I'm afraid that doesn't make any sense due to the fact that I don't think those knights know how to build anything. Look at that one over there.
Holding a hammer. Tink, 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 tink. Okay. David, what are you doing? You see, this knight, David, looks down and is like, this part of the building, it fell apart and yeah, but you're not gonna fix it with a hammer, are you? Right. Okay. So what do I do? Well, come down from there, you idiot. He descends the ladder. She's like, yeah, no, I see where you're coming from. That is making a lot of sense, yes.
You could do what I did. You could, actually qualified, certified, who get things done half the time. Me, you I have a mission in mind, and you guys don't have to go without, I guess, a mission. It's a little odd, but yeah, you guys don't have to spend all your time here building. We can leave that to the professionals, and we shall speak on your next objective.
You see Mariah nods, and you see she turns around to look at all the knights gathered around the city. She shouts an order, and you see that, yeah, so the carpenters and various volunteers around the city take to construction as opposed to the city guard. And you see that, yeah, Mariah, like, gathers all the knights, and they kind of, like, stand at attention. And you see Mariah stands kind of, like, next to you, and you see she says, all right, listen up. Our next mission is about to be read by our prince. She nods to you.
A meeting with
Did you catch that?
No,
no.
Okay.
Yeah, a little bit robotic.
No! Oh my gosh, hang on. Hello? Back.
Hello. So you see, so what was your order to the knights?
Oh no.
If you're talking RN, we cannot hear you. Man.
I'm just imagining Xelran stopping mid-sentence and standing completely silent.
I gotta pull up this thing. ever played God of
God
War?
fucking damn it.
God, you scared the.
Hello?
Hello.
Hello, hello. Okay. I returned. Happened. I didn't die. Probably. Alright. So, what was the thing you guys heard me say that wasn't robotic?
You were about to give the commands in the knights.
Oh, yeah. So, immediately he's like, okay, so after. Hey, everyone. He's gonna immediately go over back to Whisper and say, exactly. How many men does the city have? Guard included?
Guard,
Army?
guard included. After some of the losses in the battle yesterday, I would say about like somewhere around 180.
Not, hello?
Hello? I'm still here.
That's it?
Oh, well, yeah. There were a lot of casualties in the battle, so.
Yeah. With Laura, how many? How uh of main people like or what's the
Godric?
like just hello?
It's still a little robotic, I'm not gonna lie.
All right. Hey. Okay. God have many men to add on her team.
So, as far as, the forces in Rexxentrum.
No. How many art does Astrid have?
I see, Astrid. Oh shit, I just gave away. So Astrid has, Astrid has only around like, she like holds down one of the smaller number of forces, but she has around 200 to 230.
Okay.
Maybe like, is it my internet that's like?
No, it's like multiple seconds of silence. It's getting worse, I think.
I feel so fucking bad. Oh my god. I'm just like, I don't know if there's anything I can do to help, because I don't really.
Oh no. Did he just exit and rejoin it? It's still not working?
Yeah, we can't hear you, friend. Oh god. F, dude.
Oh no. It's been too long since we had really bad technical difficulties, so it had to happen at some point.
You're right. The tech gods had to remind us, put us in our place.
Mm-hmm.
Well, No, it's okay. I'm gonna grab a snack.
Maybe a good idea. I'll go refill my water if you can hear me, Angel.
Hey.
Hello. There we go.
Alright, so this is my phone, so you can carry on. What was the last thing you heard?
Okay. So you asked about Astrid's forces, right?
Yeah, not only Astrid's, but also Godric's. And he wasn't asking that, like, I'm not, like, asking that because that was the topic of, like, what we were saying before, but mostly just, like, he's just trying to get a rough estimate of all the different armies so we can see how he's stacking in comparison.
Um. So yeah, Astrid has like one of these smaller number of forces, somewhere around like 200 to 210.
Oh, shit. Oh, we're fucked. Okay, so what about Godric?
Godric, the main forces, which are kind of like centaurs and elves and nymphs and dryads, is the kind of like main like meat and potatoes army. So somewhere around 300.
Okay. All right. So, okay. That's not bad. I mean, I'm assuming that all of Exandria's armies, when they are all together, they can like match and make up for it. So, I hope so. But okay. So, and then he's gonna go back to what's her name? What's her name again?
Oh, Commander Mariah.
Mariah, that's her name. Okay, so yeah, he's gonna look back over at Mariah and he's gonna say, so, never mind, we can carry on with the plan. And he's gonna go back to talking to everybody. He says, everyone, hello, this is your prince. As she introduced. Gosh, I'm not good at this leader talk. But, so, as you are probably aware, during my other speech, Exandria is being overrun by different armies from not only the Feywild but also lunatic woman, along with other evil forces who's trying to just take over Exandria in general, just trying to bring back their god, and it's all complicated. But your duty, the main duty that I'm mostly calling you all for, is to help out the people of Exandria. More like fight in the coming battle that will be fought on Exandrian grounds. I know it's gonna be a bit much to ask, considering one, it's nowhere familiar, and also I know some of y'all don't like humans or mortals for that matter. So, I mean, that can be very bad. But for those who actually need to come along, who actually want to help your prince out and help out for something good, because these are people that I care about, I would appreciate it if you came along. I will leave some of you here for city guard, just in case if Akira were to come back, which I highly doubt will ever happen. So yeah, that's mainly the thing I wanted to say. So Who's gonna come along with?
You see.
We already have the. Oh, sorry.
You see. Yeah. About like. Pretty much like. So there's 180 soldiers. Probably like a solid like 150 raise their hands and like stand at attention.
How many?
150 out of the 180.
Oh, wow. That's a lot more than it's a lot more than I thought. Okay, so thank you for your volunteering. But I don't know if I should leave only 30 here to defend the city. So I'll only take 100 individuals. Everybody else can stay and defend the city.
You see the knights in unison say, "Yes, sir," and kind of like salute. And yeah, so you take the 100 and separate them. The rest kind of like return to their patrol. The knight from earlier, David, just like supervises like one of the carpenters and is like, "Yes, good job. That's what I was trying to do earlier." Yeah, so you've got 100 of these knights, as well as Commander Mariah, who she like stands with you, and she looks at you and goes, "So it's true then. Trying to release Tharizdun and cause the end of the world?"
Wow, I didn't even mention Tharizdun, but here you are. Yeah. That pretty much is the gist.
Go ahead and roll me an insight check.
I'm starting to smell some sus off of this woman.
On a 17, as you say that you didn't even mention Tharizdun, she sweats and says, "Oh, just heard rumors, the war is big news across all the planes. So, all right, so we beginning our march out of hell and to Exandria, right?"
Okay. Okay. So, firstly, before that, I will need you all to wait here. I would need to speak to my council people. And he's gonna run back over to the party, and he's gonna ask, Adelaide, hey,
Uh-huh.
can you examine? He's gonna say this very quietly. Can you examine that one there? She kind of seems He seems a little off.
What do you mean by examine?
I don't know. Use some magical fuckery to deduce whether or not she's evil or not.
I'm not sure I can do that, but I can create a space where she's only able to tell the truth, and then you can interrogate her.
Oh. Okay, cool. Okay. Alright. Thank you. And then he's gonna go back over. He's gonna say,
Well,
alright.
wait.
Oh, yeah, he goes back over.
Walk back over. She will know that she's under the spell.
Alright. Here goes back over. Okay, so now everyone, I will need you to you guys take a quick respite and meet back here in an hour so we can take off and leave. As for you, I'm so sorry. What's her name?
Mariah, Commander Mariah.
Mariah. Here, I'll type. I need to remember it. I don't know if that's how you spell it, but. Oh, there we go. Okay. Shit. Okay, so he looks over to Commander Mariah. He's gonna say, do I need to quickly go over the specific details for how we're gonna, examine rations, cover different things like that?
You see, she nods and like folds her arms and says, "Yeah, I mean, sure. Just for I feel like safety reasons, that'd be smart."
Yeah. All right, and okay, and he's gonna say to the rest of everybody, okay, and he said, fuck, I need to slow down. He's gonna say to everyone, okay, I'm gonna need a little bit with her, so he's gonna take her into the room,
Okay.
into a separate room.
The knights disperse, and we'll meet in an hour. But you see that Mariah walks into this room with you. You close the door. Does Adelaide come with as well?
I mean, am I being gestured over? I was left a bit in the dark on our plan here.
Yeah, he's gonna be like, he's like perfectly like smiling as well.
Okay, then I will join.
Okay. Yeah, you walk into this room. There's like a table, a wooden table in the center of the room, and like a few chairs that are sitting around it. And you see that as she walks in, she says, "Okay, so yeah, we should have rations at least for a solid month or two. But I know there are lots of shops all around Exandria that we might be able to stop at. But for a force number of 100, we should have, enough to sustain us for at least a couple months."
Okay. And as okay, so he's gonna look to Adelaide. He's gonna be like, okay, so, and he's gonna look back over at Mariah. So your guards, do they do magic?
She says, "Well, not very complex magic, only ones that kind of like make us hit harder or do more damage."
Oh, so okay, cool. So they kind of like bolster the other's attack power, kind of.
Indeed.
Okay. And he's gonna look back to Adelaide. He's gonna. You can definitely tell he's making up like some bullshit question.
Mm-hmm.
Do you know how much power that would cost to perform such magics, just to make sure, so we can keep that cataloged?
Power to perform such magics.
Oh no, he's looking towards Adelaide when he asked this question.
Oh, well, it depends on the type of magic casting, but if it's low level, then it shouldn't require many supplies.
Okay, good. One question I did have, really quickly, that kind of got me a little puzzled. How exactly did you come across, rumors, about Tharizdun? I don't... I'm just kind of curious, because I think we've all heard it from different sources, and I like to hear from all of my sources, so...
You see, she says, "Oh, Your Highness, I mean, there's, okay, so the war on Exandria, I mean, it's a huge deal, right? And I mean, the forces are being separated and all. So, almost everyone knows about, Tharizdun, and they're trying to release him, and, it's just..."
Wait, hang on. Hang on. Where exactly did you hear the rumor from, though?
Oh, I see what you're asking. Yeah, okay. Well, it was hard because I didn't know. But what I'm saying is, I mean.
Here, calm down. You don't need to. Here, you look a little hot. Let me. Here, Adelaide, could you the spell to cool her off a little bit? And he's gonna like wink at her.
Oh, of course, one moment, and I'll take out my sketchbook, and, I will cast Zone of Truth.
Hell yeah.
There you are. Alright, and it says, does that feel a little bit better? I noticed, I didn't want you to overheat or anything.
You see, as the spell finishes...
I will warn you, it needs to be a charisma saving throw.
Okay, what's the DC on that?
Let me see. 17.
17.
Oh, good. That's a
Alright.
What is her whiz? It's wisdom or charisma?
It's charisma.
Oh, charisma. Damn it. You see...
now. Go ahead.
You see that as the spell finishes casting, a green glow leaves the sketchbook, and you see her like irises glow green as well, and then it fades and returns back to like her regular color. And you think she knows about the spell. She like,
Hello? Are you feeling a little bit better?
She says, "Oh, yeah. Sorry, it definitely is a little hot down here. I mean, oh man. Thank you for cooling me off. There, I probably would have passed out almost."
Of course, you were overseeing a lot of work, and it's hot out here in hell, so.
Yeah.
Now, okay, so hang on. Did the spell work? Out of character? Like, is it on?
Go ahead. I'm gonna say just on your passive like knowledge, you know that the spell worked. Yeah, and you know that she cannot willingly tell a lie.
George, I'm. Oh, is so you're a little feeling better. What exactly? How did you come across these rumors?
Oh, you know, it was directly from up top. You know, right from the top.
What do you mean from up top?
It was so. Sorry, can I just sit down real quick? I'm sorry.
Yeah, go ahead.
God. No, yeah. So, I heard, you know, that was sort of the first meeting. Is that's what the goal is? You know, to release him and cause the destruction of everything. And I heard it directly from the boss. You know, so that's kind of where I heard that from.
Boss, huh? What boss are you talking? He's gonna look at Adelaide. He's gonna be like, yeah, that's you know, like he's giving you the look.
Xelran, on your 17 insight check from earlier, it's still like playing, you know, by now. You think that she is scanning. You see her eyes flicker around the room, and she panics and is like thinking of like escape plan, but she just kind of like masks it and goes, you know, the directly from the top, the big boss, you know, him. I was there.
Oh, hang on. Before you carry on, I gotta make sure that no one else barges in because this stuff, not only this, but also what the catalogs and everything like that, everything that we need to keep track of, that needs to be all secured and make sure that the guards have nothing to worry about. So I'm gonna go ahead and close and lock this.
Well, I mean, if we're all part of the same force, you know.
Oh yeah, but I mean, like, you're the cataloger here, okay? And I don't want none of the troops to be worried and lower morale, and we can't afford any more casualties. So he's gonna go back over and he's gonna close and lock the door.
She looks, and you see she gulps as you lock the door, and you see she says, "Okay, great. Well, if that's all." She like.
No, wait, hang on. Wait, who's G?
You know who G is. Don't act like you don't know, Your Highness.
Alright, you know what? I'm just gonna drop it now. Who are you talking about? Really? Who exactly are you talking about? And who is this boss? Spy.
She says, "I thought this might happen. You see, she looks around and says, it was Godric's orders. I was there in the first meeting when we decided that it was our goal to release Tharizdun from his chains. We don't know where he is. It's the most well-kept secret in the universe. But...
Well, it's a good thing that you're gonna be here to tell us, right? Yeah.
She looks and goes, well, I've told you everything I know, and I've told you the truth.
Oh, well, I mean, you were there, so I wouldn't have to force it out in a draw. Well, not draw. Like, okay, yeah, you don't know. I forget. He named his sword Akira after the soul that was trapped in there. So he's gonna pull out, instead of it being called the Cursed Blade, he pulls out the sword.
She looks fearful.
Pointed at her neck.
She looks fearful and says, Your Highness, why are you?
Your Highness, my ass.
You see...
Now, tell me everything you know. Or do I have to make an example out of those who forsake us?
Roll intimidation at advantage.
Oh.
Buddy!
Hell yeah. She looks fearful at the sword, and you see that she says, Okay. So it was Godric's orders. That was the goal, to release Tharizdun. It always was the goal. But the second, the method was to reincarnate the wizard who could take control of the soul of a god. It would get around the secret of not knowing where Tharizdun actually is. And if Karsus could cast his spell again and control Tharizdun, he would manually release itself from its chains and cause the destruction of all things. Tharizdun is the existence of nothingness. He is the darkness before the universe was born. And that's what Godric seeks. Forever. Endless nothingness. Not to remake, but to destroy, and to remain dark.
And what exactly is your role in all of this?
She says.
Considering you were there at the first meeting.
She says. It was always... Godric didn't have enough forces to oppose the entire planet. I am not from the Nine Hells. I was to rally as many knights to become cultists as possible. But he also... Godric needed Akira. He thought that Tharizdun was on one of the lower planes. And I freed Akira from Tartaros to see if he knew anything. When it got out
And he's good.
Go.
Oh, sorry. He's gonna, immediately after saying you freed Akira, he's gonna immediately move on, proceed, kind of shove his way forward towards her and put his hand on her throat, with the sword getting closer to her. And he's gonna then turn to Adelaide. He's gonna say, "You might not want to look at this."
Xelran, at least let her keep telling the truth.
Oh no, I'm not gonna do anything yet. Now, you said you let him out?
To find if he knew anything about the god. But he got out of hand, and I betrayed him and tried to set him back. When the war was won, I was to report back to Godric.
I see that didn't work out for you, huh? And how long have you been masquerading as Mariah, if that even is your real name?
Not less than... Only a month ago. That was when Akira was released.
Very well. he's gonna put away the blade. And he's gonna bring her over. He's gonna tie her hand to her back, and he's going to take her outside to where all the guards in all of the city can see her.
As you do, she says, "Oh, thank you for sparing me, Your Highness. You are truly merciful. Thank you."
No problem. And so he's gonna bring her directly in the center of like one of the streets. And he's gonna say, "All right, everyone. I would like you to listen and look closely."
The knights all gather around the city square. The carpenters stop their building. They all stand in a circle around you, and you see Mariah looks up at you and is like, "Your Highness, what are you? What is this?"
Your commander is a traitor. She and her crew, not you all. He points to the guard. She and her crew led, or more like broke, Akira out of Tartaros in the first place, causing him to cause an uproar. She has been spying on our little operation here for a little bit under a month. And she has allied herself with Godric, the one who is about to run over Exandria. And so I bring her out here, set an example. And he's gonna push her and then kick her legs down to make her drop to the floor. Do you see what happens when those who infiltrate and forsake our kingdom, our family? They mean to walk all over us. All of Godric's forces. Everyone who is a part of this grand scheme. They mean to walk over everything meaningful.
You hear a loud uproar in the city, shouting, "Kill her! Take her life! Finish her! Do it, Your Highness!" And you see just like objects being thrown directly at Mariah's face as she's there on the ground. And she turns around and looks at you and is like, "Your Highness, I thought you would spare me."
Only if you admit to everything you've told me. They can only go on my word alone. They need to hear it from the traitor herself.
You see she looks up and like leans back and says, "The prince speaks true. I was a part of Godric's forces, but when Akira got out of hand," and she tries to defend herself, and there's like yells that overlap her speech, and she says, "Please."
He raises his hand to stop the shouting.
It goes completely silent.
Hello?
Hello? Sorry, I think you cut out for a second.
Did I? Or did...
Sorry.
Oh.
As you raise your hand, the city goes completely quiet.
And he looks back down at her. Pretty much like to motion, like to say, like, continue.
She says, I did free Akira from Tartaros, but I didn't know that he was going to get out of hand like this, and I tried to protect the city as well. I really did have everyone's well-being in mind. I'm sorry. Ask the prince to spare me, please.
What does the city think? Should we spare a traitor like her? Or should we set an example for those who forsake our family?
Set an example, Your Highness. Finish her. She's asking for it. What does it look like for you if you let her live?
And lastly, as they're shouting, he's gonna look over to the rest of the party. What do you guys think?
I don't think that she should die for her wrongdoings. Surely she can't go without punishment, but I don't think that death is the right option.
And he's gonna take his blade out, and he's going to cut out the rope from her hands.
Rope is cut. Some of all of the citizens fall quiet. You see, she just looks up at you. You're going to let me live?
Guards!
You see that some of the a couple of guards walk over to Mariah and pick her up by the arms, and you see she just looks at you and doesn't say anything else, and the guards carry Mariah away, and as you see they walk away, you think they're taking her to Tartaros as well.
Oh yeah, he's gonna say, make sure she goes to the lowest pit imaginable. She will keep her life, but she will wish she were dead.
Yes, sir. She's carried away down to the lowest pits, kept barely alive, just enough to sustain the pain and torture that she suffers at the hands of the demons that await her. You see that after that, the city just kind of falls quiet, and you see some of these soldiers kind of nod to you in solidarity, and some of them kind of walk away and are like, it had to be done. And you guys are left in the city.
Let there be known that although she didn't suffer the main punishment that is for treachery, I am a different person. After the war, I was changed. And not only that, but my other family have always kept me on track. And I know that whatever they say, they mean to keep me not only sane, but they also mean the best for me. And that is why I did not take her life. But you will know that any who dare betray the kingdom, the family, they will suffer the same justice as she has. And there will be no mercy.
You see that as this happened, your sisters also gathered here and nodded when you mentioned them. And you see that, your voice commands respect. And you see that the air grows a lot more intense here now that Mariah has been sent down to the pits. And they nod, and the knights stand at attention.
Right then. You may carry on. Sorry to interrupt your endeavors. Guards? Well, we'll first need to appoint a new captain.
You see one of the knights steps up, who has this like infernal rune on his chest plate. He's got like long hair, a little bit of a scruffy beard. He's a tiefling as well, so he's got red skin. He introduces himself. You see, he says, "Sir, I could try. My name's Kendrick."
Sounds awfully similar. But, okay, well, firstly, before I appoint you, what is it that you have done? Have you any experience?
He says, "Yes, sir. In the battle yesterday, I helped direct one of the when the command was given to move from the southern gate to the eastern gate. I was one of the forces that helped direct the troops safely. There were demons that tried to intercept us, but I led them past, and I led our forces past them, and saw kind of like reason for the reinforcements from the south, however small. And when the first Blood War happened a long time ago, I fought in that as well. I know it's a short resume, but I could try."
I appreciate your ability to volunteer, but I would need someone who's more, I suppose, experienced in the ways of combat. Someone who's fought in not only this Blood War, but also the first. And not only that, but they also served a great, they did a great service to the community. That is our kingdom. Apologies, but you will not be accepted.
He nods and says, "That's all right, sir, I understand. But if I may, it sounds... Forgive me if I overstep, but it sounds as if you describe yourself, sir."
I'm only the person who gives out the mission statement. I have no battle experience, at least in terms of war. I cannot take the mantle. Thank you, but for assuming that, I guess, but no, I cannot lead. Is there anyone here who meets the criteria?
You see that... let me roll something here, actually. Cool. You see an older gentleman who is a tiefling as well. This one with kind of like deep purplish skin, long hair, and yeah, same infernal rune across his metal armor. Walks up, introduces himself as Calroy. And you see, he says, he's like holding his helmet, and he's got his shield and his sword on his back. And you see he nods and says, "I may volunteer myself. Don't know if I'll... But, I fought in the First Blood War as well, sir. It was waged a long, long time ago. But I led one of our troops back then. Led one of our troops yesterday as well. We were on the Eastern Gate to begin with. And... You see, he looks and goes, "I was also there to sort of tend to the wounded and redirect some of them to stick in the back lines and protect some of the medicinal tents as well."
Okay. Alright, then I hereby appoint you as first commander of the Xelran front. And he's going to point to the other guy and he's going to say, "And I appoint you as first legionnaire to his battalion." So you will be directly under him.
You see, the two knights nod to each other and shake hands. And you see he shakes your hand as well. And is like, Yes, sir. I appreciate it, sir. I will not let you down.
Thank you. All right. Oh, sorry. Good.
He says, "All right then. Gather round. So it is almost time for our departure." Looks to Kendrick and says, "Make sure that all of them have their equipment and all of them are ready for traversal as well." He nods and inspects the rest of the troops, who fall in line and stand at attention. And yeah, the 100 demons from the 9 hells are ready to march on Exandria.
Right. And then he's gonna go over to the rest of his to his group, and he's gonna say, "All right. Is there anything else you all wanted to do before we all head out?"
I don't believe so. But by the way, Xelran, I think you made the right decision there.
Thank you. Yeah, that's. I believe it. If it were me, not even a day ago, I would have quickly just ended her on the spot. But I know you all have my best interest in mind, so I trust you all. I trust you.
I'm glad to have your back.
Well. Oh, before we leave, he's gonna say, he's gonna like motion everybody to come along. I need to visit the potion shop.
Oh, that's a good idea. I believe I need to as well.
Okay. You go and find a potion shop. A little dwarf, little tiefling behind the counter there. Also, because you guys fought in a literal warfare rather. I'll roll for how much gold you guys received from the battle.
What's up was good.
Monies.
We get shit.
249.
Oh my god, really?
Each?
Yes.
That's a huge pull.
Yeah, it is.
Yo, okay. Okay, so we've got bands.
How much is superior healing again?
Oh shit! I gotta pull up healing prices.
Ooh, should I? Here, I'm gonna put in the general really quickly while we're here, and if they miss it, then I guess we'll just account for them if the game is over. But I want to ask everybody else, or mostly just Wyra and Dan, to see how much they would want.
Okay.
Because I hate to go on a shopping spree without them asking for what they would want.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
All right. All right. So you said you have the pricing sheet for potions.
Yep. There it is.
Oh. Oh shit.
Oh, perfect. Ooh.
All right. I'll let you go first.
I think I might just get 4 superiors and call it a day.
Valid.
Yeah, why not? Okay. So let's...
Okay, so firstly, Xelran, he wants. Okay, so I'm gonna sell something really quickly.
Sure.
Okay, so he has a short sword with him. Just a plain old short sword. I don't know why he has it, but it's definitely causing him to be encumbered. So, how much could he get for the short sword? He's gonna ask.
Okay. Just up real quick. Give me a second. You walk up. You sit on the counter. You see the tiefling behind the counter and looks at it. And says, "Well, Your Highness, as this is a regular short sword, I could take it off your hands for 15, 20 gold pieces."
Okay, yeah, that sounds reasonable. Yeah, go ahead.
All right. Takes the sword and then hands you 20 gold pieces.
And he says, I would like to sell just one other item.
He nods and goes, "Yeah, sure."
Alright, so he's gonna pull out his bag. Well, not his bag. He has his little side compartments. He's gonna pull out the about how many do I want to sell? He pulls out 7 greater healing potions, and he's gonna put them all on the table, and he's gonna say, "How much can I get for all this?"
See, for all these, these are good quality. I would say for each one would be 30 gold pieces for each.
30. I'm not good with math, so here, let me
If
210. Okay. You said 30 gold pieces for each of them?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, okay. So yeah, he's gonna just put those on the table. He's gonna be like, okay, deal made.
He takes the potions, hands you 210 gold pieces.
Hey, more money! And he's gonna immediately spend that on some superior healing. So let me. I think, yeah, he's gonna get 4. So pretty much, yeah, the same that Adelaide has.
All right.
So yeah, okay, so that's 300. Boom. All right. Yeah.
Yay.
And he's gonna add the rest of these to his character sheet, and we're all good.
All right.
Or at least I'm all good.
Gotcha.
Yeah, I'm good too.
Oh, wait, did I add 6? No, I didn't mean to do that. There we go.
All right.
All right. Yeah.
Nods to you. Pleasure doing business with you. And yeah, you guys walk.
Same to you.
Yeah, you guys walk out. And yeah, the Xandrian front from the Nine Hells of about 100 infernal knights begins as you see they march. You hear the like heavy footfalls of men and women in metal as they march out of the Nine Hells into one of the portals that takes them to Exandria. You guys leave the Nine Hells as well. Hella and Elena will meet up with you guys as they have some stuff to figure out down here in the Nine Hells as well. Bless you.
Sorry.
You're all good.
Thank you.
And Hilaire and Anya stick around in Nine Hells as well to figure out some politics. You see that you guys arrive you see that Charon takes you guys across the river Styx again. And yeah, you guys take the portal back to Exandria. Laura is there with you guys as well. And
And
oh yeah.
we don't have to roleplay this, but before he did get on the boat, he did say goodbye to Hilera and Anya.
Yeah, they like hug you out. Hug you out. Weirdest phrase
Yeah,
I've
but
ever said in my entire life. They hug you on your way out. That's the better one.
Nice.
Saved. Yeah. So, you arrive back in Exandria. You, the first place that you arrive here to is Rosanna. The knights follow shortly behind. And as you arrive here, you arrive in the Bright Queen's palace. The Bright Queen is talking to like some of her council members, and you see Adelaide. You see your father here as the Bright Queen and the King talk about kind of like combining their forces. You see that Calroy, the commander of Xelran's Knights, goes and talks with some of the councilmen here about where they can, kind of like be stationed, and until they're ready. And a building is allocated specifically for the Knights of Dis. And you see the Bright Queen looks at you guys, and you see she walks over and is like, "Hi, good to see you all again. How are things down there in the Nine Hills?"
Oh man, it was hell. Let me tell you.
Was that intent? Were you doing a bit or?
So, the way it was, let's just say that Akira's no more. He's gone, and we stopped the war from happening. We got some armies, as you can see. Say hi, everyone.
Hi, miss. Oh, cool.
Yeah.
Well, thank you. Glad things worked out and you stopped Akira.
Yeah. But yes, also Hilera sends great tidings your way. But mostly everything we sought out to achieve has been achieved down there. So, how is everything going here?
You see that she says, honestly, not great, but not terribly so. You see, she looks out the window, and you see she says, "Come with me. I have some news."
I don't like that. He's gonna walk.
She walks out of the castle here, and you see that you recall having given the Bright Queen in order to begin an evacuation, because there was a war coming, and it fell quiet when you left for the Nine Hells. Now, here in the city of Rosanna, the population looks to be like doubled. And it looks like people from kind of like all over, not just like from Wildmount, but from Tal'Dorei and Marquette and Isilra. You see that the Bright Queen looks at the crowd of people, and you guys are standing on this kind of like balcony that overlooks the city square.
Wait, and these are civilians?
Yes.
Oh my god.
And they have kind of like blankets wrapped around their shoulders, and they have like fearful looks on their faces as they talk with each other. Names are being called out as like families try to rejoin each other. You see She looks at the crowd of people and says, "So, in the days you were gone, Godric and his forces, they didn't... Well, one of them showed up, but Godric, Casus, they didn't either. But... So the continent of Taldore, directly to our west, I don't know how else to say this, but it vanished. It doesn't exist anymore. There isn't anything over there on the west. It is just... A couple of days ago, the earth started sinking, and an evacuation was called over there for them to come to Wildmount. And when it finally stopped sinking, there was nothing. It was like a giant, dark hole where the country used to be. That's why all these people are here, because some of them came from Taldore when it vanished and stopped existing. And some of them from Marquette and Isilra are here as well, because they fear that the same thing might happen to them.
Well, hang on. Then did how many make? Did all of them end up making it out?
She says, "I think so. There have been... Well, if there were casualties, I don't know how many there were. That was sort of their noble's job, to keep track of the number of casualties and those lives lost. But a solid number of them came here," and she looks at Adelaide, "and your father, he suggested the same plan to, scatter throughout the cities. I don't know the exact number of population that used to live in Taldore, but at least 80 or 90% of them survived the sinkhole."
So that leaves at least 10% unaccounted for.
Either missing or down in that black hole that used to be a continent.
Jeez. And the monastery?
She says, "They have been evacuated as well. They are in a safe location as well. Sammy has been taking care of all of them and teaching them a bit, but mostly focused on, staying safe."
I need to see her.
She nods and goes, "She should be, last I checked, she should be in a house directly on the outskirts of the city in the south."
He immediately runs off.
You take off. You see Adelaide, your father, pats your shoulder. It's like, "You alright there, Adelaide?"
Yeah, I'm okay, just a bit overwhelmed.
He nods and goes, "I get it. There is also, you see that, go ahead and make a perception check if you don't mind.
Oh, okay. 25.
On 25, you see your sister Freya is here in the castle as well, who runs kind of between a few different rooms, talking to as many people as she can about something. And you see, she says, you see your father looks at Freya running back and forth. You see, he says, "So, I don't know if you remember from a long time ago, but during a time in my life that I wasn't proud of, do you remember Astrid?"
Yes, she's worked with you before, I believe.
He nods and says, "Well, first of all, I apologize for sending her after you. Second of all, it seems that I seemingly put too much trust in her. She arrived in Rexxentrum and drove me and your sister and your mother out. There weren't any civilians there when it happened, but, we fought against her for a bit, but she overwhelmed us. That's why we had to come here as well."
I'm not surprised. She's very easily won over by any side.
He nods and says,
Um,
maybe I should go talk to Freya then.
I can talk to her. I'm glad you all made it here safely.
He looks at you and nods and is like, "I'm glad you survived the whole thing in the Nine Hells as well. Freya told me about it, so,
Yes, we somehow make it out of these predicaments.
Well, going to talk to the Queen. Good luck with Freya, I suppose."
Thanks, I might need it.
You walk off towards Freya. Xelran, you run to the south on the outskirts of the city. Sorry, I said that's a weird city. You get to this, not really run down house, but oft unused house. And you walk in, you see wooden floors and granite countertops. And you see that, you walk in and you see some of your former students who smile and wave at you. And you see Sammy is there. She's sitting on one of these chairs and reading a book and looks up and goes, "Xelran."
Sammy. And he's gonna immediately run up and hug. Almost slamming into her.
Oh, and lands on your shoulder. She lands her face on your shoulder. And you see she says, "Thank goodness you're okay."
Are you okay?
I'm doing okay. The kids are okay too. The Queen told me about the thing in hell. Clearly everything worked out. Maybe that's assuming, but...
Well, yeah, it did. What about you? How are you holding up? I noticed that you are all in this crap house.
She says, "Just temporary. We just, the Bright Queen, as suggested, is going to find us a better place to kind of scatter us, but, I've been doing okay. It's... the world's at war now, and Tal'Dore's gone. Who knows who it's going to happen to next,
I'm sorry that I couldn't, be here for everything when it went to shit.
She says, don't you dare apologize. Look, it's sometimes things are out of our control, and we have to address the things we can control. She looks at you for a second, and you see she looks in your eyes and kind of hesitates to say something. Clears her throat.
He's gonna break that by saying, "Oh, I guess I'm gonna need you for a quick second. More I'm gonna need you to be there as we talk about our next move." so that you can find a way to move everybody safely.
Okay. She looks and says, everyone, I'm gonna be right back. Xelran and I are gonna talk for a bit. Please stay safe. Don't destroy anything. If you do, it's like my ass. So, I shouldn't curse in front of them. My butt. We'll be back. Sammy and Xelran walk out of the house.
Well, actually, first he's gonna say, "I'll as soon as we get back to the when we get back to the castle, I'll have one of my friends send a message to see if you guys are all right. And if anything were to go down, I guess there's nothing to really. Oh, oh, never mind. Well, he doesn't have any sending stones to give. So yeah, he's just gonna say, I'll try to keep in touch with you all as much as possible, but I'll have Sammy back here before hopefully anything were to transpire."
Some of the kids nod and like wave as you walk out.
Robin, you're in charge for now.
Oh, dude, yes, let's go. The door closes. Yeah, and you walk out. You see, she says, that kid is energetic. I mean,
I'm sure he must be really fun to teach.
he is, you know, it makes the teaching more fun when students are engaged. So, you know, it gets a little overwhelming though sometimes because I don't have that much energy, but you know.
Well, you make up for it in your prowess.
She like smiles and just looks down as you guys walk back to the castle. Adelaide, you walk up to Freya, who is like running back and forth in between these two rooms, and you see she is like talking to one of the wizards in the library, and she looks at you as you arrive, and you see she says, "Oh, hi. Sorry, just one sec."
Hey, can we speak for a moment?
She kind of like looks at the librarian and pauses and goes, okay. Yeah, sure. I'll, nods to the bookkeeper, and the bookkeeper walks off. You see Freya kind of looks at you for a sec, hesitates, and hugs you, and then pulls away and is like, "Sorry, I've just... everything is, you know, everything."
Hey, I get it. I'm so glad you're safe, though.
Thanks. I'm glad you're safe too.
How are you feeling? I mean, after having to evacuate.
It's weird. You know, being brought back to life by Mistra, and then coming home, and then immediately having to evacuate, and then Astrid shows up, who talks to us for a bit, but then forces us to leave. It's just been a week, you know?
Yeah, I get it. I'm sorry you couldn't just go back to normal, but seems like things are getting stirred up all over the world.
She nods. It's like, yeah, it's kind of out of our control. I mean, she looks down the hall, and you see she gets this kind of like shadowy look in her eyes, and you see some of the like, there are some like moving shadows down along the like hallway here, along the floor, like little like wisps and clouds of darkness. And you see she says, "It's just, I've been feeling like, you know," she looks at you, Adelaide, what, if anything, stays?
What do you mean by that?
You blink, and the clouds of darkness disappear, and you see her eyes go back to normal, and she says, I just mean, God, everything keeps changing, and I just want things to stay the same for, like, maybe a day, you know?
Yeah, I know what you mean. We're figuring things out. We're trying to get answers, and hopefully we can stop whatever's going on.
She nods.
For now, the best we can do is just try to stay sane.
You're right. I think I'm gonna rest for a bit. We'll figure the thing out with Astrid later, but I think that's the plan. I think I'm gonna rest.
Yeah, take some time. And I'll be here for a while, I think, while we're planning, so if you need me, you can find me.
She nods and pats your shoulder and walks off. Yeah, Xelran, you arrive back to the Bright Queen's palace with Sammy. As you guys cross through the centralized gates of the palace here, there are some like servants who look panicked and like handily hand out like blankets and sandwiches and things of this nature. And you see that, you get to this like main room where you see so it's the Bright Queen, it's Adelaide's father, and it's you see the Bright Queen's council like standing behind her, and some knights who stand behind her as well. You see the Bright Queen goes over and hugs Sammy, and you see that the Bright Queen walks over to the table, and there's like a map strewn out over it with the knights standing directly behind the queen. I think also that Adelaide would be here as the king kind of like motions with his hand. And you see that the Bright Queen motions to Taldore where it would be on the map. And instead, there's just this kind of like, giant black hole that covers the ocean. You see that she points to various parts on the map. And you see she says, right, well, this meeting is now called to order. Right, so Astrid and her forces arrived to Rexxentrum merely a couple days ago and drove out the nobles there. None of Godric's other forces have shown their faces yet, and we don't know where their base of operations is. We can either choose to move to take back Rexxentrum and drive Astrid out, potentially killing her, or we can wait to see if Godric or Carsus show their faces. We can wait to see what their plans are, or we can start our counterattack immediately. She looks to Xelran and to Adelaide, and she says, what do you think? Should we act now, or should we wait?
What do you think?
Are you asking Adelaide?
Yes.
I mean, do we have any information on what their next move could possibly be if we wait?
She motions to the table and says, we have a guess, but not a concrete bit of evidence. Gilmore, who was kind of like paying Astrid off to tell him, their plans, stopped receiving information, so we aren't sure anymore. But we think that they are going essentially to spread out across the continent. We don't think they're going to remain in one specific area and put all their eggs in one basket. Where Astrid dominated Rexxentrum, we think that Delilah and her forces of vampires are going to hit the south. Whereas Godric and his Feywild forces are going to hit the east, which is directly north of us. And then Carsus is going to make his home in the north. So Astrid's in the west, Delilah's in the south, Godric's in the east, Carsus is in the north. That's at least our guess as to what their plans are.
Do we have enough forces to fight them?
She says we might. We don't know the exact number of forces that Godric or Astrid has. You see, the king holds his hand up and says, "Actually, I do. I think about 200 of the finest wizards and witches drove us out of our city. If we are to assume that the rest of the armies are of a similar number and stature, then we might be able to combat them as well, considering the fact that we have now Tal'Dore's military in addition to Wildmount's military from the entire continent. We could completely outnumber them, but it only comes down to execution and what their strategy might be. A bigger army doesn't automatically mean a victory."
And do we know that to be the truth? Okay, well... Okay, so how many, how many Wildmount forces do we have?
You see, she says, specifically the military of Wildmount, we are already looking at 500 forces, mages and knights.
Okay, and as for Tal'Dore before it went over, along with the Xelran?
Tal'Dore and Asilra's forces are about the same, 400 each. So we're looking at 1,300 soldiers.
Okay. And finally Marquette.
Marquette, they haven't sent all their forces over, but they have about, I think, 300 soldiers, but they're still in Marquette, at least I think so.
Okay. Along with the 100 that I've brought from the hell. From... Nine hells. Okay. So, here is my idea of what we can do to get the jump on them, more like. I'd say we first, number one, we go after the weakest of the four, and I assume that to be Astrid. So we send out those who can combat wizards. Firstly, we'll group everybody into one massive army, all of Exandria's forces. We group them all up into one army, and we pick out those who have special proficiencies in magic, and also those who can counter any sort of magic that she could throw at us. And we try to keep it low, keep it to a very minimal amount, maybe max reaching up to 300. But what the main plan is, we go after her, and we leave the rest here to take care of those who are wounded when we come back. When those wounded are, coming back here to be fixed, we send out another wave, and we pick out those who can combat the other, I'd say if we were to go after Godric next, we go after those, and we pick out those who can counter Godric's forces, and so on and so on. So pretty much we're just splitting up the army to go after one and wait for them to come back, and then we send out another one as the others rest, and then we do that rinse and repeat. Just so we can maximize one that we don't like that we don't lose out on any potential, I guess, so that we don't lose out on extra force if we need it, and if we need to call reinforcements, we can.
You see.
So yeah. Well,
You see the Bright Queen nods to this and says, "The idea is completely sound. I think sending out wave after wave while the others rest makes perfect sense to me." She looks to the king and says, "Does this work for you?" The king kind of like nods and says, "I think this makes sense as well. Not putting all the eggs in one basket and throwing, I think we should not throw everything we have at first. We should take it slow and ease into winning the war." You see the Bright Queen nods and says, "All right. I think for right now, we should try to gather all of our forces and have the ones from Marquette sent over. We should rally them and, as Xelran suggests, select the ones that could counter Astrid's magic and then send them in waves." The king nods. You see that the king says, "I will gather the knights here, and some of the mages will send out messages that the military is meeting down here in Rosanna as well. Thank you, Bertrand." The king walks out, and you see that some of the knights stick around and just kind of keep looking down at the table with like thoughtful expressions. The king walks out, and you see he like announces, "All right, please, if you would, clear a path for the knight and the military. We are going to need a direct path for them to come through. Thank you. I understand this is a time of confusion, but please shuffle into places that keep you safe and keep all of your family members together. If you have any concerns, talk with me or talk with one of our council members. Thank you." The militaries are rallied here. The forces conjoin, as the ones from Marquette are sent over as well. It takes about a solid week or two for all of the forces of Marquette to teleport in. Some of them come by non-magical means as well. In this week of downtime, is there anything you guys would like to achieve before diving headfirst into warfare?
Okay, so one thing that he did want to do is he wanted to, number one, return Sammy to the big building, and then he's also going to he's gonna move them back into the city and clear and go pretty much go back into the monastery and just put them back to where they belong. He is gonna ask Sammy if she did want to partake, even though he knows most likely she won't.
You see, she says, "Well, I'm not. I know I fought in the tournament, but it's just different, I'm really sorry. I would, but
I know. It's okay. I have a feeling that it's that war and big scaled battles and world-ending threats are not in your expertise. So I would never send you into battle that way. I just thought I'd ask."
She nods and pats your shoulder and is like, I understand, but yeah, someone's gotta. I gotta keep these kids safe.
Please do, and notify me if anything happens. Please.
I will. She walks off into the monastery and claps her hands and goes, all right, children, we are going to continue lessons for the time being. However, I need to take certain safety precautions. Let's make sure that all of the entrances are completely watched and locked at all times. We do not want any outside strange visitors or anything of this nature. She walks away. Yeah. So over the course of the next week, all of the militaries meet up in Rosanna. Some monasteries send their students as well. And yeah, so you're looking at a total of like 1,600 soldiers of all the Xandrian forces combined into one massive army that looks to counter Tharizdun and his threats. As all of the soldiers, and that was like with your demonic army as well, they all gather in the castle here. It's a little bit tough to like fit that many people inside of one building, but the forces of Marquette, Tal'Dorei, and Wildmount are all conjoined into one, and you see that the king is there, and you guys are standing on this like balcony overlooking all the soldiers who kind of like intermingle and talk with each other, and you see the king looks down at this and says, all right, listen up please. And you see all the soldiers look up. He says, in about 2 weeks' time, we are going to launch an assault on Rexxentrum. We are going to take it back from the invading forces of Astrid and her mages. If I could have any of the mage slayers and the wizards who are particularly capable in counterspelling and destroying magical effects, if I could have you step forward. You see about 200 knights who look to be like mage slayers, and 50 wizards, as well as 50 of Xelran's army step forward. He says, all right, great. The attack on Rexxentrum to take it back happens in about 2 weeks. We will use this room as a base of operations, and we will use the castle in Rexxentrum as well to further communications if need be. The soldiers look up and nod at this, and you see that he gives that order, and yeah, you see the king walks off. You see that over the course of the 2 weeks, the soldiers are trained and intermingle with one another, as the plan for the attack on Rexxentrum begins. The king, once again, takes everyone into a room with a giant kind of like piece of paper with a map of Rexxentrum. And there's like a castle in the center. And he points down at the map and goes, okay, so I'm trying to think of how exactly to attack the city and take it back. There are multiple entrances. We could try to go underground. We could just walk directly in and challenge Astrid and her mages to a one-on-one battle. He looks to Xelran and to Adelaide. What do you think? Should we go underground, or should we just walk right in?
Underground seems like it would be a prime location for traps to be prepared.
He nods. It's understandable. We might also be able to come in from the sky if we took certain flying forces as well. Many of our mages are able to cast fly on multiple people, so wouldn't it be too bad of an idea to come from the skies? Or we could...
Ooh. Oh, I have an idea! You can see like a glow in his eyes. Okay, so, Adelaide, that's a great idea. Okay, so, here's the plan. Or at least here's a plan. You guys can tweak it or whatever. But here's the plan. Okay. I, myself, since I... he kind of like, turns his head away from Adelaide when he says this. Since I, like, I am very oddly she I think because she and I have a sort of thing going on, I can cause a distraction. Me alone. I can cause a distraction from the sky, or hell, from just going in general. Whilst the forces make their way through the trenches and go underground and attack from behind, pretty much. Not behind, but like attack from underneath them. We can send. Well, first we can. I guess the first. I guess wave. Maybe like a few of them can go in stealthily and kill as many people as they can. Secretly, and if they're spotted, they just go in full assault. But I'd say that I can pull off a good distraction while you all make your siege.
The king nods and says, "Sure, that could work. We could have some of our forces underground, and then you could distract her. The only question is, we would have to know sort of when to attack and when she is properly distracted. A signal of some kind."
Oh, I can have a sending stone on me, before, and we can, like, something that we can communicate with, within the hour that it's allotted to us.
He nods and puts a... You see, he looks to one of his mages and takes a sending stone, puts it in your hand, and says,
Don't cast it yet. Not yet. We're not.
He nods and goes, "Right, well, in any case, we should figure out a code word for when the attack is set to start."
I have a code that will make sense with Astrid. That will fly under Astrid's radar, but you might not like it.
The king says, "What is it?" The king winces. He's like, "What are you about to say?"
Oh, no. Spit it out, man.
How about the code word is butt stuff?
What?
Really, no alternative ideas there?
No, okay. Trust me, it will go under her radar because I don't know if you know, she and I had a little thing going on.
Were you in love with Astrid?
I am not. Absolutely not. But I do like to fuck with her, and it is funny.
Fair enough, I suppose. Okay, he looks hesitantly to Xelran and then looks to his knights and wizards and is like,
What?
okay. I suppose the men, women, listen up. As you heard, the plan is for Xelran to create a distraction for Astrid, and we will go underground and attack from beneath the city. The signal, when you hear this word, you are to begin your attack on the city. The code word is... It's, Your Highness, what's the it's butt stuff, okay? It's butt stuff. It's just, when you hear someone say butt stuff, attack. And there's a weird silence that hangs over the castle.
And he's gonna yell out, "What? What? She'll it'll go under her radar. Trust me, everyone. Okay."
Okay. When we hear butt stuff, we'll attack.
Okay, go in. Just go in. It's full siege ahead. Okay.
All right, we will. You see some of the soldiers kind of like some of the soldiers that like laugh to themselves a bit, and yeah. So the king nods, and that is the plan: to go underground and attack the city, whereas Xelran will create a distraction.
Yippee!
Hell yeah! You see Freya, Adelaide's sister, comes up to you, Xelran, and pats your shoulder, and is like, "Hey, thanks for
Wait, you said who comes up again? Sorry, I couldn't hear that part.
Oh, Freya, Adelaide's sister.
Oh, okay.
She like pats your shoulder and is like, thanks for the help with, taking back the city and everything.
Oh, no problem. Don't thank me. Thank all of Exandria.
One question though, butt stuff, really? It's like there are other words.
It's practical, okay? It'll fly under her radar. You'll know. Well, you don't know, but it'll work. Trust me. You just listen in, and you'll listen. You'll hear the magic happen. Not that magic.
Xelran,
Huh?
what is your distraction?
I have a plan.
Okay, I think I can take a guess.
Sister, these are the type of people you hang around all the time. This is really...
Listen, they're a bit odd, but they're loyal and trustworthy.
Well, fair enough. I won't argue with that at all.
Oh, before I forget, he's gonna pull out his sword and he's gonna hand it over to you, Adelaide. I'm gonna need you to hold on to this while I'm out there.
Oh, okay.
And when you grab it, you feel the entire soul of Akira surround you, and you get possessed, and you become. I'm just kidding, no. But no, he hands it over to you because I'm gonna go in there with no weapons because it'll seem oddly suspicious. But don't worry.
What, going in with weapons or without seems suspicious?
Oh no, going in with weapons would seem suspicious, so I'm going in without.
Fair enough.
But yeah, I will need that back when we actually begin the fight.
Well, I can't say I'm a very good swordsman, so I don't mind giving it back.
Well, one might say that you might need to swing the sword.
I'll keep that in mind.
He said that they...
Okay. That's it's gonna be it's gonna work. Trust me. If there's anything I know, it is plans like this.
You've done a lot of plans like this?
Yeah, you remember that time when we went into
The casino.
Yeah.
Yeah, I almost forgot about that one.
I'm not proud. What? I am a little proud. Okay, honestly, I can't hide that any longer. That was actually one of my greatest plans ever. I'm surprised that worked the way it did. What can I say? I am my mother's son.
It's certainly impressive enough.
Battle stations. I will head out first. Well, actually, you all will need to get into position. So I'll just stay up in the air until you all are in position.
You see Freya nods, and it's like, okay, I guess we're doing this. We are sending our distraction into an invading noble's palace without weapons. And she just walks away.
Alright.
um,
So he's gonna fuck off for a bit until everybody's in position.
okay. Cool. So, here's what's gonna happen. So, the siege on Rexxentrum is going to begin. The forces, the knights, are led by the wizards, as well as the about 50 of the soldiers from Xelran's army. You see the camera zooms underground as torches are held up, and the knights here are marching through the tunnels directly underneath Rexxentrum. Adelaide, you are here as well. Freya is marching alongside you. She pats your shoulder and is like, "You really think this is gonna work?"
If there's one thing about Xelran, it's that he knows how to craft a strange plan, and usually they work, so.
Okay, well, I won't argue with that. You guys continue walking, and you get to this one kind of like central gate that, when opened, would lead you directly into the city, or is like a staircase up that leads into the like central city area. You see.
I'm sorry. I need a quick question. What level spell is invisibility?
Oh, invisibility. See here.
Second level.
Yep.
Okay. Is it possible to cast invisibility at third level from a scroll?
Yes.
Okay, never mind. Okay, continue.
No.
Okay. So, as Freya, Adelaide, and the king march underground, the king holds the sending stone up to his ear. He looks to the rest of his forces and puts up a finger and goes, "We have to wait here until we hear the signal." And you see that the king holds the sending stone up to his ear. Xelran, you've got one as well. And you hear the king's voice say, "All right, we are in position. Whenever you're ready."
All right. Got to make the most of this. All right, and so he's he's gonna act. Okay, so while he was waiting for everybody to get into his position, he was flying above, in the air, and he's gonna actually go into the go up towards the entrance of the actual city itself.
Okay. It's quiet. It's a completely empty city, as you think most of the wizards have turtled up in the castle here. You just are able to walk in to the empty city here. It's weird. It's the first time you're here. You had to bodyguard Adelaide and Freya, and now you look around. It's completely empty and quiet.
Okay, so he just completely quiet. Okay, so what he's gonna do is he's gonna say, "Hello? Anyone around?" Astrid? It is I, Xelran. I've come to bargain.
Make a perception check if you don't mind.
Oh god, I'm actually shaking. I don't know. Yeah, okay. Oh yeah, baby!
God damn it. Okay. You see that, you see that, as you look around here in this city, and call out Astrid's name, you hear directly behind you the like snap of a twig as someone steps on the ground, and you hear a voice go, "Oh god damn it!" God. And like you hear footsteps, and you turn around and you see like the grass shuffles as if someone's stepping on it, and whoever it is moves behind a tree.
And he's gonna slowly raise his hands up to his, like, kind of like putting his hands up to surrender. He's gonna say, I know you and your forces are watching. I've come unarmed, and I wish to speak with Astrid. That's all I want. If you want to, come up, search me. I am unarmed. Except for a couple of belongings, but other than that, I'm unarmed. No weapons.
The invisibility spell around this wizard fades as they come out from around the tree. Hey, what's up, guys? Scarce here. But they come around the tree, and you see that it is a human woman with black hair, wearing kind of like exaggeratingly long like wizard robes, and it's like red and black, and you see there is what looks to be some sort of like anarchy symbol on the like shoulder of the shirt, and yeah, just a red bloody A in a circle, like surrounded by a circle. See this woman.
Sorry. He's just gonna keep his hands up. He just leaves them there. Up.
She walks up to you and is like, "Are you sure you have nothing on you?"
Very sure. You can come over here. You can tie my hands behind my back. I will not do anything. I will not resist. Feel free to check me. Even better, actually, he's gonna get down on the floor, and he's going to put his hands behind his back, on his head, and he's gonna actually like get down on his knees. Feel free to check me. I really mean it.
She walks over, pats you down, and says, "Okay. Maybe you're concealing it really well, but I'm not seeing anything. You said you want to talk to Astrid?"
Yes. Oh, 1 second.
No worries. So
Sorry, go ahead. Say it one more time.
yeah, all good. You see that this human woman picks you up, doesn't tie your hands behind your back, but does like hold your arms, and takes you to the castle. As you walk into the castle, you see it has been like redecorated, to fit like Astrid's motif. So like black and red, and a lot of different like anarchy like symbolism here. A lot of different like paintings of flags that have been like torn, and a bunch of different kind of like abstract paintings, and different like, you see that there is a painting where there are just words written in blood that say nothing means anything.
Wow. You guys really know how to decorate.
She says, "Thanks. It was mostly Astrid's idea.
Well, I'll just say this. He is one masterful painter.
She continues walking. You walk into the throne room, and you see Astrid sits there in the throne. You saw other wizards in different parts of the castle. There are none in here, just Astrid on her own. And you see, she says, "Your Highness, I found this man in the city. He wishes to speak to you." She says, "All right, thank you. Leave us be." She walks out. It's just you and Astrid in here. And as the door closes, she immediately smiles. Astrid does, and she goes, "Xelran! Oh my god! How long's it been?"
Too long. Painfully long, actually.
God, oh my goodness. Does your soul call my name when we're apart like mine does?
As much as it hurts my dignity and my being, it indeed does. Astrid, ever since everything happened on the boat, ever since you've left, ever since that rush you gave me when we fought, I've wanted nothing more than to see you again. And then when I heard that you've come to Rexxentrum and you've drove all those blokes out, my heart leapt out of my chest. I've come here unarmed just to prove to you. You can even check. Even one of your forces even searched me. All I've come to do is just to see you once more.
You see that she hops up and kind of like claps. It's like, "Oh my god, this is everything I've been waiting for. This is the moment. Oh my god, I can't believe it's finally happening." Ah.
Me neither. I mean, I'd get up and jump and be all giddy, but kind of. I don't want to spook you, and I don't want you to think that I would do anything crazy. But I want you to know that nothing makes me more happy to see that you, I guess, act the same way.
She looks at you and goes, "Was it ever a question? Of course." She kneels down to hug you, and she says, "And now that we both know that we're on the same side of the war, you're never leaving, right? We'll be here forever."
Never. I'll never leave you. Never again. It's a little too soon to say, but I think I'm in love with you.
She blushes intensely and is like, "Oh my god. What a crazy coincidence that you would say that. I mean, I've felt this way for a long time too."
And of course, since then, I couldn't hide it, so... Can I ask one thing of you?
Of course, anything.
Can we move this to a more private?
She nods and says, "Oh, yes, of course, yeah, there are many rooms here in the castle. Yeah, let's go."
Anyone you want. Or, better yet, the penthouse. The top of the tower. Go there. We'll go there. And we'll profess our love to the entire city, letting everyone know not to mess with Xelran and Astrid. No one will ever mess with us ever again.
You see, she nods and says, Yes, no one would dare challenge us. Come on. And then brings you by the wrist up to the penthouse.
Whoa.
And this is fucking crazy. You see that, yeah, she takes you up to this balcony, and she like sends a message out to her wizards in the castle and says, everyone, if you would head down to the city square, I have something to say to all of you. And you see that...
Wait. Let's not do it yet. Let's wait until it's official.
Okay.
That's gonna be this is a little embarrassing to ask, but would you want to? I mean, I've been waiting since that day. Would you want to,
Oh, you see, she looks at you and is like, are you suggesting that we...
Indeed.
She says, oh my, this is all happening so fast, but I see no reason not to. She puts a hand on your shoulder and says, I trust you.
And I you.
You see, she leans in to kiss you.
He kisses right back, but he's gonna go in with more emo.
She's like surprised and overtaken, and yeah, and her eyes go wide as you kiss, with a lot of emotion.
All right, and he is we're gonna skip over the parts, but yeah, he proceeds to go in, if you know what I mean.
Do the diddly do.
Yep.
Hell yeah. Fuck, I don't know how to DM this right now. You see that you guys eventually the sun kind of like sets, and you hear the king's voice in the back of your head, Xelran. And Adelaide, you see your father getting kind of like impatient as he's like tapping his foot on the ground. And you see, he says, come on, Xelran, when are we gonna get the signal? Xelran, you see Astrid looks at you and says, what was that? Did you hear something?
I didn't hear a thing. Only being here with you, the entire world seems to fall. But as he, I guess, gets up out of the bed, he's gonna ask, have you ever... I know this is still all very sudden for you, but have you ever considered doing butt stuff?
Ah! And you hear hella like shouts and chants immediately as the gate bursts open, and you see there were like maybe 5 or 6 soldiers that were like standing directly next to the king's stone, just waiting for the word. And you hear just loud shouts, and you hear commotion downstairs, and
what? He's gonna like even sell like, what the hell is that?
She says, I don't know. Should we go check it out? I mean,
yeah, get dressed.
Okay. Quickly puts on her clothes.
As she's putting on her clothes, he is going to cast the spell, the invisibility spell, with one of his spell scrolls, his 3rd level spell scrolls, and he's gonna put himself into an.
Okay. You see that she... This is fucking crazy. You see that she puts on her clothes and is like, okay, let's check. Xelran? Xelran? She looks around, saddened, and she pinches the bridge of her nose. And you see that she says, "Dirty trick. I'll find you." Runs out of the room.
And he's gonna like make his way downstairs.
You see as you run downstairs, fires are being, or actually, they're moving to take back the city. So, just a big old fight is happening. Spells are being flung, swords are being swung, and arrows are being shot. Just a big old battle. Adelaide, Freya, the king are here. And you see that, just a huge conflict. And you see Astrid just is overlooking this from like up on the staircase. She's like leaning over the railing and looking down on the fight. And you see that she just gets like teary-eyed. And you see she wipes those tears away. And you see she holds like a blue ball of magic in her hand and crushes it. And you see that blue magic lights kind of like surround her entire silhouette as she angrily marches down the stairs. And you see she goes, "Okay, I'm going to play it like that then," and joins the conflict. And
He's gonna immediately find Adelaide.
Adelaide, as you cast a spell and like push a knight onto the floor, you're like in the middle of combat, and you see Xelran, who drops his invisibility spell. You see he shows up right behind you.
Hey, what took you so long?
You don't want to know. Told you it worked. Knife, please.
Oh, yes, of course. I had a sword.
Thank you.
So you see that, the fight breaks out. Astrid is fighting as many as she can, but you do see that, her forces are completely outnumbered and surrounded here. So you see, are you guys going to try to hide from Astrid, or are you just going to be out in the open?
Xelran, he's gonna hide from Astrid because I want her to think that he actually just like fucking like gone from this plane of existence, from this corporeal dimension. So he's just gonna try to keep away from Astrid for now.
Okay.
Just kind of
Adelaide's speaking news all around.
Okay. Spells, swords, arrows. Astrid is completely outnumbered, and her forces are being squashed just one by one. Where you held a 300 to 200 advantage, the advantage is now even greater, as it's like 300 to 150. In a matter of like 10 minutes, Rexxentrum's Astrid's forces suffer a casualty of about 50. As this fight is breaking out, Astrid is trying to help as many as she can, trying to cast healing spells. Both of you go ahead and roll me a stealth check.
17.
23.
I'm gonna take a picture or something.
What? I don't like that.
I mean, there is no greater moment than that. Okay.
Hang on, what was Astrid's last name again? Like, this is out of character.
Hold on. Okay. Her last name is Beck. Becke.
Oh, damn it. She was hot, too. No!
Wow. Okay.
Alright, never mind.
Hold on. I'm gonna send that in the Discord. That is amazing. Hold on. That is so funny. Oh.
What the hell are you... what picture are you looking at?
Okay. So, you guys see that as you are partaking in this conflict as well, you take down some of the mages here. You see that Astrid, as you guys are trying to stick kind of like hidden and out of sight, Astrid is able to spot you guys. And you see that she marches away, not even, she's walking past some of her mages that are already fighting other people. And she walks over to Xelran and Adelaide, and you see she's like, so that's how it is then?
Well, yeah, but not entirely. You know, Astrid, a person with your talents, they shouldn't be wasted, and they shouldn't be snuffed out. A moment ago, I would have killed you on the spot, but look at what you can do. You're fighting for the wrong team here. All I ask is just that you don't waste your talents on petty motives such as a god telling you to do stuff. Have you ever, you never get tired of being ordered around like that?
She goes, I mean, I do, but what does that matter?
Meaning that, well, yes, it was, that entire thing was to, distract you. I'm not... I mean, I would like for you to, be useful to, your own purpose and your own desires. Obviously not doing anything bad, but play for your own team once.
She looks at you. Go ahead and roll persuasion check.
Damn it. Only a 16.
So she looks and she goes, likely story. Like I would join you after you walked out on me.
I didn't walk out on you. I walked out on the person who's being controlled by every single evil god ever. You, however, you who has awesome magical prowess, one who has incredible combat strategy brain. I'm not good with words. You would be excellent on your own. Hell, I'm not even asking you to join us, just you're fighting for the wrong team. And like I said before, I actually kind of enjoyed what happened.
She looks. She goes, maybe you're right. I will fight on my own. But that means... She looks at you. That means I have one major enemy who looks to take everything away from me. And they're standing right in front of me. And crackling lightning from her hands. And she goes, that I need to take care of immediately.
I will You know, even though I know that we're gonna end up fighting and one of us will go down, I will say that you are absolutely valid in your reason. I probably shouldn't have played with you like that. But I did it for the sake of the planet. I did it for the sake of this world. So, make of that what you will. And he's gonna draw his blade.
Astrid looks to the party. Who's got time constraints? I know it's getting later in the evening.
Personally, don't.
Have some stuff to do today, but it's not like on a schedule, so
Okay. Worst case scenario, we call it halfway through the battle if it gets too late in the evening. But
Okay.
for right now,
that sounds fine.
all right. For right
Big
now,
battle
I'd love
coming
you
up.
to roll initiative, everybody.
Ooh.
Big CGI fight.
Yeah. Dude. That was fucking gnarly, bro.
Hey,
That was fucking
I-
gnarly.
I'm surprised that worked, honestly. I was kind of shaking. I was just like, there's no way she's gonna fall for this bullshit. No way. No fucking way.
Oh my god.
Hey, but I
Alright.
was pretty convincing.
You know, win's a win. So we're gonna load him.
That must mean I have Riz.
You've got W Riz, man. Alright. We are going to... Let's just use this map instead. I feel like that's easier for me to work with since it's already here.
I feel like we've seen this before, right? Is deja vu?
I believe so.
Woohoo. We can say it's like in an abandoned church or something like that, and she managed to find us.
Oh, yeah. Okay. Let's go with this one. We're gonna play some music here. If Watch Together wants to load. Thank you. Okay. Now we add everybody to the map. And we turn on the grid. Even though that's not lined up perfectly, that's okay. We'll just use the one on the map. There's Adelaide. There is Xelran. Then we're gonna add Laura, who was just, you know, with the rest of the forces on the ground, but she's just really quiet, promise. Then we're gonna add Astrid, and we're gonna add Freya, and we're gonna add... Do I have... Oh, I have stats for the king, too. Hey. Just a big old battle. So if you wanted to position yourselves wherever you want it to be in a different spot, that's totally fine. I'll show you where the enemies are. So these two, this is Freya, and this is the king. And then Astrid is right here.
Ah, damn it. She was hot. Alright. Well, he would probably be the closest to her, so he would be up a little bit.
Okay. Put Laura in this square over here. Alright. So combat begins as Astrid looks to prevent the forces from taking back Rexxentrum. The Battle of Rexxentrum proper begins, and Adelaide, you're the first to act.
Alright, I'm gonna immediately bonus action give Xelran some bardic inspiration.
Hell yeah.
Yippee!
And then I'm going to cast Eldritch Blast at Astrid.
Alright.
So 27 and a 21 to hit.
Holy shit!
Both of those hit. Roll damage.
For once. Okay, 13 and 8.
Oh my actual god.
God damn. He brings her down in half health.
You reach out. In this moment where she's taking back her home city, what is Adelaide feeling towards Astrid?
she's feeling anger at her for, doing this in the first place.
As anger overtakes your emotions here, you shoot out this Eldritch Blast, and you notice that the magic looks red, and hits both of her shoulders, and she leans back in pain. Anything else?
No, that's all.
Got it. Finishing Adelaide's go, it's going to be Astrid. Astrid is going to... She is going to throw... She's going to point her... She holds her book in her left hand and holds her right hand out. And you see, 1 second here, I'll pull up the spell. Holds out her hand, holding her book in her left hand, and you see that lightning magic energy appears in the palm of her hand, and she grabs it, and the magic turns into a sword, and she grabs a glowing magic sword out of thin air. And you see that she's going to run up to Xelran, and she swipes down diagonally with this arcane sword. That's gonna be...
Oh! Close call. Oh my god!
You're going to take...
Oh no.
That's going to be... And because it's a critical, 32 points...
Oh my fucking god, no way. Oh my god, no way.
She summons a sword out of thin air, rushes up to Xelran, and diagonally slashes down into Xelran's skin. And just teary-eyed and mascara running down her cheeks. He's just so overtaken by grief.
You know, I'll give you that one. Oh.
You'd better. Finishing Astrid.
I deserve that.
Finishing Astrid's go, it's going to be Bertrand. Bertrand. Let's see here. Okay.
Did we get a long rest? Cause I still have my sheet from when we fought in the war last time.
Oh yeah, you did get a long rest. Yeah.
Okay, let me quickly do that before I calculate my stuff.
No worries. So the king runs up to Astrid as well. Or he actually is going to run over here, and he takes his bow, takes a bow from out behind, and shoots an arrow shoots 3 arrows towards Astrid. A critical! Oh my god.
Oh, wow. Dang, everybody rolling the nat 20s today.
I'm saying, it's crazy. So it's for AC. Oh, all 3 hit. Okay, cool. I wasn't.
Oh wow.
1, 2, 3, 6, 8, 7, 15, 11. 15 plus 11 is whatever it is.
15 plus 11, 26?
I think so, 26. Oh my god. The king rushes over and just fires 3 arrows into Astrid. And he goes, "This is our home turf." Finishing the king's go, it's going to be Freya. Let's see here. Runs up, or actually, oh yeah, she has to. Runs up to Xelran, putting a hand on his shoulder, and is going to heal Xelran for 16 HP.
Holy shit. He's gonna be like, whoa. Wow, thank you.
Of course, just kill her. and she's going to stick right there. Doesn't want to take the risk on the op attack. That's going to be Alora's turn, which I realize I should. There we go.
You're trying to make Astrid jealous.
Astrid looks over and is like, so you're getting healing from other women now? I mean, this is completely insane.
No, I swear, it's not like that, I swear!
God. So it meant nothing, is what you're saying. So that night meant nothing to you.
That night, it happened 20 minutes ago!
That night meant nothing to you, it wasn't as important to you. Alora throws a few magic missiles into Astrid, which is going to be... She's going to do it at 3rd level. So... She... 2, 3, 3. So she deals 9 points of damage. She points her staff towards Astrid, and you see that behind Alora, just these straight up like arcane missiles appear and shoot into Astrid's shoulders, neck, and face. Leans back in pain. At the end of Alora's go, Astrid's going to take a legendary action to cast a Misty Step, and to teleport over rather to Adelaide, and that's going to finish that. Xelran, you're up. Adelaide, you're on deck.
Wait, hang on. Wait, she missed the... Oh, she missed the step. Fuck. Never mind. Alright, hang on. Okay, so... He is going to move. Kind of do a big old drift on the floor there. And he's gonna arrive at her location. Okay, so 2 attacks with Akira. And since there's no one around, he's just gonna do Booming Blade.
Hell yeah, go for it, dude. Let's see here. Oh, both of those hit.
Oop, crap. There we go.
Okay.
Oh my god.
It hits her body twice. And as you swipe into her body, you just hear the distant sounds of like the screams of both Commander Mariah and Akira. As they kind of like conjoin with the screams of Astrid, who just leans back in pain from the sword. And you see she's like bloody. She's like holding back your sword, trying to stop you from attacking her, but you relent anyways and cut into like her shoulder. Anything else?
He's gonna say, I urge you to back down. Just surrender Rexxentrum, and we don't have to kill each other. Please. I don't want to hurt you more than I already have.
Roll persuasion at advantage. She looks. She hesitates. Looking at Xelran's eyes. Looking to...
And this time you can tell that he's like actually like meaning it. Like he's actually meaning it this time around.
Okay. Astrid looks at Xelran, then to the king, then to Freya, to Adelaide, to Alora, and the soldiers in Rexxentrum now completely outnumber, completely doubling Astrid's army. She looks. She goes, I order what remain of my forces to retreat out of Rexxentrum. We are to return to home base. We no longer serve Godric. If you follow me, you follow me. If you follow Godric, you are my enemy. And you see, in a puff of smoke, you see Astrid hesitates and looks at Xelran for another maybe half a second before she teleports out, and the castle goes quiet as the fighting stops.
Damn. Well, okay. Before she like disappears, he's gonna like when she looks back at him, he's gonna smile, like not like an evil smile, but like a actual like genuine smile.
You smile to Astrid before she disappears, and she hesitates and looks at your smile for even longer, but she leaves nonetheless. Little top left of your screen, Astrid will remember that.
And he's gonna turn to everybody. He's gonna be like, "I'm sorry, you guys. I know that she took over your kingdom and such, and I know she deserves justice, but I think what I did to her was more than enough." And he pockets his sword, and he just kind of walks away.
There's a loud sound of celebration as the king and Freya talk to each other, and you see the king and Freya hug, and they pull Adelaide for a hug in as well, as the king has taken back Rexxentrum, and the forces of Astrid have completely left and dispersed. The king, completely having partaken in the combat as well, now being tired out, just returns to the throne room and sits down quietly. Freya joins up with her father. And some of the knights, you see there are some wizards that came with you from Rosanna as well. And they open portals back to Rosanna, which is kind of being used as HQ or home turf. And yeah, Rexxentrum is back in control of the Dwindles once again. As that happens, the Mage Slayers return to Rosanna. Xelran, you walk off, but you know that the portals will remain open for a long time, so you'll have some time to kind of find some solace and having to send Astrid away, despite whatever Xelran feels about her.
His thought process is he's a little conflicted because he knows that she was allied with a planet-killing monster, and that she took one of his best friend's hometown. But then again, he saw the look that she had when she was so brokenhearted, and he just can't bear that. But eventually getting over and just shrugging it off, he breathes and he just goes into the portal to recuperate.
Okay.
It had to be done. He had a job to do.
I think the king here sits on his throne as well. Freya looks at Adelaide and she says, "Dad says he wants to stay here to figure out some stuff. Did you want to go back to Rosanna with Xelran and everyone, or did you want to stick around here?"
As much as I'd like to help you reorganize here, I think I have bigger work to do with the rest of the group.
She nods. He goes, "Okay." Just stay safe, okay?
I will. And you too. I'm sorry to leave you already.
Hey, we got our home city back. There's nothing to be sorry about.
I'll speak to you soon.
She hugs you tearfully and pulls away, and you walk through the portal back to Rosanna. And I think right there is a good place to call it.
Pretty eventful.
Yes, it was.
Thank you to my lovely players who came to this weekend's game, and thank you to those at home who watched. And yeah, we will see you guys next weekend for the continuation of the Great War of the Solstice. Yeah, we'll see you next Sunday. Bye-bye.
Bye. Look at that damage.